Welcome to another lesson with the EMA. Let me check if it's recording. Okay, we're recording, we're on. So before we start with anything, I'd like to emphasize another point. I cannot stress this enough, but then this lesson is one of the most important lessons from the EMA. All lessons from the EMA are important, but then this one is top priority. It's one of those lessons which are just amazing, phenomenal. I'm even getting shivers down my spine while making this lesson. Okay, but then before we start with the actual lesson, I just need you to know something. Being a trader requires discipline. It doesn't matter how much knowledge you get, without discipline you'll just end up nowhere. So discipline alone can be the reason why you eventually make it in the trading industry. That's what you should know. So this is why the day you choose to be a trader, your lifestyle should have changed. You know, as a trader, you feed on research and you cultivate knowledge. When people in the world are seeing chaos, you are seeing opportunity. So do your research and you'll just find, don't be lazy, please. There's money, a lot of money to be made here. You know, so when there's chaos going on in the global economy, going on around the world, your MetaTrader sound should be coming on in the background as you sit there waiting for opportunities. Each and everything, note this, each and everything that is happening around you, it must slowly begin to relate to a trade. And everywhere you must begin to see opportunities to make money. Then I can say you are ready for the field. But then besides that, let's get into today's lesson. Today's lesson will be mainly about fear and greed, but then mostly fear, which drives markets. I'm talking about geopolitical factors like pure fundamental dynamics of the market. You know, when you get this lesson, you don't need to look at technicals. You just look at them for what can I say, more confirmation on your technical setups or strategies and all those things. But then when you just have this, you just know that, okay, when I've received this alert, I already know what I'll be selling and what I'll be buying, and I'm definitely going to make money without even looking at the chart. So in this lesson, you're going to hear me talk about something called SHCs. These are safe haven currencies or commodities. These are the currencies or commodities whereby where investors flock to or they run to when there is trouble in the market. When there's chaos, when there's a global disaster, these currencies or commodities, they gain a lot of strength. The safe haven currencies or commodities. Just like the word is self-explanatory, safe haven. That's where people run to in large numbers for safety. So these are the currencies. The currencies are JPY, the CHF, and the commodity is gold or XAU. So I'll just be focused. I know there may be a lot of safe haven currencies or commodities and other things, but then today I'll just be focusing on these ones. Then we also have what we call the CDCs, the commodity dependent currencies or the commodity currencies. So these currencies are mostly, or their economies are mostly dependent on exports. So when there is global unrest, when there's chaos in the market, these currencies are sold. They become weak. So I hope you are already getting a picture. When there is global chaos or market chaos, you buy the safe haven currencies and you sell the commodity dependent currencies. What are the commodity dependent currencies? The top ones are AUD, NZD, and also the CAD. Okay, so for safe haven currencies, we have the JPY, the CHF, and also the gold. Those are the ones which you usually buy when there's a disaster in the markets. When everything is going south in the markets, they become strong. I'll also show you what I'm talking about. Then these ones, the commodity dependent currencies, are AUD, NZD, and CAD. They become weakened when there's a disaster in the markets. I'll also show you, which is why on my screen I've deleted all pairs, metals or whatever, and I'm only left with the currencies which I've mentioned. So you can also see that we have crude oil. Crude oil also becomes weak when there's a disaster. And then we have US tech, which is Nasdaq. Nasdaq. Let's talk about Nasdaq. Nasdaq sits alone. So Nasdaq is a stock index. Nasdaq or Nas 100 is a stock index. So when there's global unrest or unease or chaos, stocks usually take a hit. So that's why you'll find that during such times whereby the situation is unfavorable or conditions are unfavorable in the market, Nas 100 will take a sell because it's comprised or composed, for that matter, of the top technological companies. So when their stocks plummet, when they fall, when they dive, you will find that this Nasdaq will also fall because it's a stock index or a stock indicator, for that matter. But then you'll see everything which I've just talked about on the charts. That's why I'm saying you don't need to look at the charts, because with what I've already said, you already know what to do when such and such happen. But then you can also go to the charts and you will see that what I've just said happened. So let's get into the charts. Let's start off with the safe haven currencies, which are CHF, JPY, and also gold. So we say they become strong when the global economy has become weakened. So right now is a perfect example for showing the strength of these currencies or commodities, and also the weakness of the commodity dependent currencies or export dependent currencies. So we have CHF, and right now we are having the coronavirus. We are having the coronavirus, which is causing mayhem in both the geopolitical and also the fundamental world. So the markets are going crazy. So look at how the CHF has reacted. It became strong, hence USD CHF fell. So remember the coronavirus, there were a few cases in December ending. December end there. Then in January beginning, the situation was still under control. Then chaos started breaking out end of January to the beginning of February. Now it's just chaos, but then soon enough it will be fixed. But then we're talking, let's just say February, end of January, February, March. That's where the full effects of the coronavirus were seen on the market. So this is why, if you look at CHF, it just became strong. Even if you look at other CHF pairs, you will see that where CHF is a code means the second or the last currency, just like in USD CHF. CHF is a code. You'll find that the pairs have fallen, the pairs have gone down because CHF is strong. So I'm mainly choosing USD in our pairs because USD is okay, let me clear this. As I was saying, USD is one of the major currencies, so that's why I compare it with other currencies. So we have seen the effect on CHF. Let's go to JPY. JPY, same story. Coronavirus, JPY became strong. USD JPY became a sell. Remember, this is a daily time frame. So look what is just happening. Without even having to plot any trend line or any whatever technical setup or input any EA or indicator or nothing. Just coronavirus is causing chaos out there. Then this is just what happens. Just know I'm going to buy JPY. So any pair with JPY, as a quote, I'm going to sell it because JPY is strong. Simple as that. So let's go to gold. Let's go to gold. We see in such times, what do we do on gold? We buy gold. Gold becomes strong. As you can see, in the past few months, gold has risen. Let's now go to the export dependent currencies, the AUD, NZD, and also the CAD. So let's start off with USD CAD. CAD became weak, as you can see. So USD CAD went up. CAD is one of the export dependent currency. So it became weak when there was this severe outbreak and severe infections spreading worldwide due to the coronavirus. So it became weak. Then let's go to NZD USD. Also became weak. It also became weak. As you can see, it's also been falling. Let's go to AUD. I hope you're just seeing what's happening. I'm trying to contain my excitement while telling you these things because I once mentioned them in, I think if it's not 2017, it's 2018. But then since it was text, I take it that a few people took it serious, that when there is global unrest or economic unrest, you buy the safe haven commodities and then you sell the export dependent currencies or commodities. So right now we're looking at AUD USD. You can also see it took a hit. Plus AUD also had problems with the Australian bushfires. You know, such things you should just know that when this happens, I'm going to sell the commodity or export dependent currency and buy the safe haven currency. So it means AUD JPY fell the most because JPY was the strongest, AED was the weakest during such times. But then nonetheless, let's go to Nasdaq. Coronavirus, just as I said, stocks took a hit. The stock index will also go down. So the airlines were also affected the most due to travel restrictions. Most people cancelled their traveling plans, and also some governments also shut down their airports and other means of traveling or transportation for the time being, just to have this situation under control. This virus is no joke. It's no joke, but then it's also money for some of us. We've managed to make a lot of money from this virus. We're not saying that you should just pray that there's economic unrest or there's a global chaos so that you can make money. No, we don't hope for such and we don't pray for such, because you can also make money under normal conditions. But then if it so happens that such things occur, then now you know that you're going to make a whole lot of money. So it's not only the case where okay, let me do this. As I was saying, it's not only the case of the coronavirus. We had other instances like as I mentioned before, the Australian bushfires. They also caused economic unrest, especially on AUD and NZD. There's also the Brexit, and there was a time, I think it's 2018, whereby the global economy was going into recession. And okay, before I even forget, when this thing happens, when such situations occur, whereby you find that there's global economic unrest, interest rates, you should also know that most central banks cut their interest rates. Most central banks cut their interest rates when such is happening. Their monetary policy, it shifts from a holding position to an easing position. So this is met with a dovish reaction from the market. In simple terms, it's negative, because most central banks are cutting the rate. Just like this week alone, we had AUD cutting its rate, we had USD cutting its rate, we also had the CAD cutting its rate. So the next interest rates are from the Euro, the GBP, and also the NZD. So we are mostly projecting a cut, unless there's a solution, maybe a vaccine, or could I say a cure for a virus, for this coronavirus. If there's a vaccine or some sort of treatment or ailment for this virus, then we can see monetary policy being a bit positive. So the final thing here is that